Hello and welcome to another episode of Big Brother After Snark. I am one half of your hosting combination. My name is KC, and once again streaming live from our Rocky Mountain headquarters. Lacey.
Hello.
How has your week been?
Fantastic. Had a good 4th of July holiday.
So did I, sort of. It's been a very unusually eventful week too. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I was happy to see Jace go as predicted.
Yes, Jace leaving was good. I kind of thought that this was going to be a year where they might bring somebody back. And my biggest question about him leaving was they revealed one thing to him. They revealed the twin twist.
Uh-huh.
So that makes me wonder if A, they still could bring somebody back, but it would have to be after the twin twist reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Or B, they're not bringing anybody back, and that's why he got to know what one of the twists was.
Right.
So that's my biggest question.
Sure.
But I was happy to see him go. He was very annoying.
How about his shout out to Frankie?
That just further endeared him to my soul.
It was the icing on the cake. Yep.
Exactly. Okay, so 3 big episodes have come and gone since our last show. So let's think what happened. We had 2 HOHs, right? Shelly and
Becky.
Becky. That's right. Your best friend Becky.
Yep.
Bestie, we'll call her.
Who looked a little stunned to win.
Well, yeah. She always looks a little bit stunned, but
well, she was hit in the face by a train, Kevin.
I was just about to ask if you caught that. We hadn't had a chance to discuss this. That whole story hit near and dear to my soul.
Well, I feel bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel bad now because every time she was on the camera, I would say, "What is wrong with her face? What happened to her face?" And now I know
her face got ran over by a freight train.
It was hit by a train. Although, okay, freight train, I think it must have been the light rail in Denver because she said she stuck her face out from the van to see if a train was coming. You can hear if a freight train is coming. But the light
rail in Denver?
Yeah, the light rail is like, you know, so I think it must have been.
Well, it could have been light rail. It could have been a slow-moving freight or passenger train through like a city or town.
Okay.
If it was a 70-mile-an-hour, 20,000-ton train, she's not walking away from that. So it's there was something more to the story that she didn't tell you. It was impressive though. That doesn't happen very often.
Mm-hmm.
I do know of one person who got hit by a train in a wheelchair that rolled away from it.
Really?
But that's the only time I've ever heard of something like that happening. Anyway, moving on. So Shelly and Becky, they both win HOH.
Mm-hmm.
And the plan was get the absolute worst player in Big Brother history out the door.
Audrey, bless his heart.
I don't know if I've ever seen anyone play such an awful game in week 1, except, well, there was one guy, I can't remember his name. He got teased for it. He ended up going out the door. It was the year Dan won. There was one player that he had a final 2 alliance with everybody in the house in week 1.
Oh, I don't remember.
And they sent him out the door the first week. That's the only worst game I've seen than the game Audrey's playing.
Yeah.
I liked your comparison last week to Amanda Zuckerman.
Yeah.
I could definitely see the similarities in the game. Although I will say, I think that Amanda is a slightly more of a handsome man. But no, I can see the similarities there. So the plan is we're going to backdoor Audrey.
Yeah, that was the plan.
I know I'm on board.
The whole house was on board.
What happened?
With that. Well, I actually think what happened was Shelly made a smart game move, much as I am loath to admit it.
Come again?
Well, now I can't remember why Becky nominated who she nominated. Was the plan to backdoor Audrey when she did that? It was, right?
Yes.
Like Becky
the plan was, no matter what, the 4 nominees, whoever won Battle of the Block, no matter what happened, the bottom line was the remaining HOH was going to make sure the power of veto got used and Audrey got sent packing.
So Becky put up Steve and Jason, right? Yeah, Steve and Jason.
Yes.
And then, but Shelly, all along, knowing that she actually wanted to get Davon out, she put up Davon and John and Shelly's little, like, mini alliance-ish.
Everything that I saw, that was talked about as a possibility, but I don't think that was always her plan.
Shelly's plan?
Yeah. I think she was on board most of the time with getting Audrey out.
That's not what I picked up. I picked up that she sees Audrey as not someone who's coming after her, after Shelly, and someone who's an enemy of the entire house. So why should Shelly waste her HOH on getting that person out when she can get out someone who would potentially be coming after her in Davon? That's where I think, even though I would love to see Audrey go, because terrible gameplay, and then not only do you blow up your own game, but then lay on the couch with a ring of daisies around your head and talk.
Right.
What?
Right.
So yeah, Davon is a much smarter pick for Shelly's game. I have to admit it. I mean,
assuming she ends up going home, which she has not played a very good game either. She's yet another house guest who is in constant search of drama. And that's like the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do.
Right.
And if there is drama to be found, she will seek it out and pounce on it.
And if
like a puma.
If Davon had won HOH, if Davon was staying in the house and won HOH next week, I think she most likely would put up Shelly. Probably Shelly and Clay, and say, let's break up this pair.
If she won, yeah.
So that, and if Audrey won next week, Audrey would be putting up Jason, Davon.
Yeah, she'd probably try to backdoor Davon.
There would be a long
Audrey's not going to win anything, though, unless he gets thrown to her.
Yeah. There'd be a long hit list before Shelly. So, yeah, I think it's smart for Shelly. So, they did the noms, and nobody was happy about being put up, but everyone was told you're safe, I think. Wasn't everybody told that?
Yeah. Everybody was told they're just a pawn.
Which, that's the way it goes with Battle of the Block.
What?
That's pretty much the way it goes with Battle of the Block.
Well, I mean, that's normally the way it goes without the Battle of the Block. I mean, everybody just gets lied to at first until after the veto competition. After the veto competition, it's like, yeah, never mind, you're actually going home.
Right.
So,
yeah, and then the Battle of the Block, I loved seeing more of John this week. And his personality.
He just cracks me up.
Yeah. Yeah.
He might be my favorite. Although, kind of getting ahead of ourselves, I saw on the live. Actually, no, it wasn't on the live feeds. It might have been on After Dark. He was sitting there talking to, I think it was James, about all the money he makes. I'm like, you can't do that. You can't talk about your money. You avoid the subject. If it comes up, then you change the subject to how you're drowning in student loans or something. But he was talking about, dentists make way more money than MDs. That's why I went the dentist route. And all I'm doing is sitting there thinking people let him pull their teeth out. And he probably enjoys it. He's probably my favorite part of the show so far. He can't say anything without me just dying of laughter.
Yeah, he's a character. So if he is in there bragging about how much money he makes, he's playing for second, basically.
I think he honestly, I believe him that he has all the money, and obviously he's just happy to be there. So, I mean, good for him. I don't even know if he's playing for second. I think he's just playing for the fun of it. I mean, he's already agreed to be a pawn in week 2, because he was Becky's pawn? No, Shelly's pawn.
Yeah, Shelly's pawn.
Shelly, yeah, he got put up with Davon, and through the competition, put his life in their hands and actually trusted them, which I don't think I could have ever done. So I think he's just happy to be there, which makes it that much easier to like him, as far as I'm concerned. Again, not to beat a dead horse, but that's part of the reason why I like Dr. Will. All of his plastic surgery money, he didn't need to be there. And he reminded people on a regular basis. So maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe it's not a bad strategy. Maybe it will keep him around longer.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
I got us sidetracked. I'm good at derailing us. Anyway, so Battle of the Block plays out, and like I just alluded to, John throws it. And he wasn't very good at throwing it either. I mean, he got the job done, but it was
really obvious.
Pretty obvious.
Way too obvious.
I've seen a lot better throwing jobs.
It's like,
it was just this side of Caleb, of Beast Mode Cowboy, when he threw Frankie's comp.
Yeah, that was good TV.
One notch better than that. He didn't just sit down on the grass and fold his arms, so I'll give him that.
Yeah.
That was one of the most impressive wins I've ever seen, by the way, even if it was the F word. Okay, so is that where the last episode left us? Because that was the end of Sunday's show, and that was the last one that aired.
Yeah,
so anybody who doesn't keep up with live feeds, that's where they left off.
Yep. So
they left off with Shelly is the HOH. The nominees are John and Davon, and we've played a lot of games since then.
Yeah.
So, where are we at now?
Spoiler territory.
Spoil away. Spoiler alert. I still can't. I couldn't say that one time fast.
So they had the veto.
Spoiler alert.
I'm assuming they were probably asking John to throw the veto. I'm assuming, but he didn't throw the veto, so he's not that stupid. He won the veto.
Thankfully, yeah.
Yay.
Yes.
And so there was a lot of back and forth about who to put up. It was going to be Liz, and then it was switched to Meg.
Yes. So Taylor Swift, is now sitting on the block, which lends credence to what you had brought up last week. That she could be the perfect perennial pawn that skates through to the end of the game is basically what you had alluded to.
Yeah, and it became Meg because there's a bit of a divide now, which I'm getting excited about. The lines are still a bit blurred, but there is becoming a divide between two sides of the house, and they're starting to use that verbiage. That side, this side. Again, the lines are still blurry, so I'm not even sure I could name off everyone who's on certain sides, and there are still a couple people that are, saying they're with both sides. But they went with Meg because she definitely seems to be kind of on the Davon, Jason side of the house, and they thought, let's put Meg on the block. That's one less vote to keep Davon. So that was, So Meg is actually getting into the game and a little more actively than I first thought she might. But she's still on everybody's good side, and it doesn't seem like anybody sees her as a threat. So. Right,
which easily is probably why she's sitting next to Davon. So. And again, Davon is not helping herself out with anything I've seen her do.
No, but
at all.
She did make a discovery yesterday.
I was very disappointed to see that.
See, no, I wasn't.
Really?
Yeah. So it's the twin twist.
Right.
Davon has figured out the twin twist, yeah. She and Jason had a lot to talk about it. He was immediately on board. Yeah, you're right. Now, Vanessa, for a while now, has thought there were twins in the house, and she'd even been studying the memory wall the past couple days, trying to figure out who the twins were. And interesting, just like on season 5, this season, there's 2 other people in the house who have twin siblings outside the house, besides Liz. And it was the same way.
That kind of tipped her brain in that direction to begin with.
And it was the same way in season 5. I don't know why they do that. I don't know if they just pick a bunch of twins and then they're like, okay, let's decide which one's going to bring in their sibling. I don't know.
That could be.
Strange.
That could be.
But that was a really big tell, I think, especially because they have so many fans. And in fact, Jason has been saying that his favorite season is season 5, and he told production that. So he definitely should have been on the lookout for it. But yeah, I'm not disappointed because, again, I watched season 5. It's one of my favorites. So I've already seen what happens when the twin twist plays out, and then they bring the other twin in, and then they get to play together. So this is something new to experience, to see the twin twist not working and then figuring it out and how that plays out. So I'm kind of excited about that. But you were disappointed.
Well, but as you bring up those points, it makes me wonder. Maybe that's what Grodner wanted this year. Maybe, okay, we've had the twin twist once. Nobody figured it out. We're going to have it again. Let's see if we can tip some people off. See if that shakes the house up. See how they react. If they might just be, kind of like bringing in the Amazing Racers. They might just be so in awe of it that they just want to meet the twin and have the twins in the house.
Right.
The guys might want the twin girls in the house. It might not matter. It might not ruin Liz's game at all. So, might just be a brilliant move by Grodner.
Yeah, I thought about that a little bit today too, because I really didn't think that Liz seemed like the best. I mean, what do I know? But she just didn't seem like the best casting to be able to pull it off. And obviously, CBS knows better than I do about casting reality. So maybe that was not an accident.
Okay, when you were watching the live feeds or reading what you read, however you got tipped off to it, did you catch that part of what had tipped off Davon was something had been brought up about Liz looking like Helga from Hey Arnold. And then...
No, okay, I didn't see that.
Do you know who Helga is?
No, but I know they're calling one of them Helga and one of them Cruella.
Right, okay. Well, you'll have to... We're going to have to Google image search every episode now, apparently. You'll have to Google image search Helga from Hey Arnold. I can kind of see it a little bit. But anyway, apparently it got brought up to Liz once, and I don't know if Liz hadn't ever heard of Hey Arnold or whatever it was, but it had to be explained to her. Well, then it gets brought up a second time. Well, now the twin, the other one, Julia.
Yeah.
Again, who's Helga? What's Hey Arnold? And that apparently is one of the things that had tipped off Dave on. Wait a minute, we already had to explain this to you. That was what I gathered anyway. I may be a little bit off on that. That was what I gathered from, I was watching the live feeds last night.
I heard something.
Saw a little bit of a conversation between her and Fitzstains. And that's what I gathered. My facts might be a little bit off. But you'll after we're done here, you'll have to look up Helga, because I thought that was funny just because we had been comparing. By the way, I'm glad I disabled my notifications because I've just been getting one after another after another.
So popular.
No, I just thought it was funny. In our first show, we compared Football Head
Jeff
to Hey Arnold.
Yeah.
And now they're doing the same thing in the house.
A Nickelodeon cartoon themed house this year.
Some things never die.
Now that I'm kind of wondering when they're gonna confront, I was interested to see how Davon was gonna handle it, because as she's like literally has one door out the foot. I thought maybe she'd parlay this into something, you know. I thought it would have been smarter of her to keep it to herself, not say anything to Jason or anybody, and go to Liz quietly and say, I know this, I will keep it quiet if you help me figure out the votes to stay, and get one person solid on her team. I thought that would have been a way smarter way to handle it, but apparently she didn't do that. Now the whole house, I guess, knows, but I'm interested to see when. I don't think it's blown up yet, right? Like, Liz still doesn't know that they know?
Well, I don't know, because the conversation I saw last night, and again, we're recording this on, Tuesday the 7th? The conversation I saw last night between Davon and Pitstains that indicated the whole Hey Arnold thing, she also said something along the lines of, don't tell anybody, I'm not telling anybody, I'm just going to go into the diary room and tell them and see if maybe you get something out of being the first one to figure it out.
Okay, so she has
but she said other than that, she wasn't going to tell anybody because she didn't want her conspiracy theories ruining her own game. So I think we're to the point now, unless you know for sure that she has told the rest of the housemates, which I don't know if she has, she might be hanging on to it for down the road, or possibly tossing out the old grenade on her way out the door.
Yeah.
Just try to shake things up. That's been done before, too.
Well, I know several of them know. They told Steve and Vanessa. Steve, Vanessa, and Jason, I know for sure know. And I think Jeff, Jason, because they were all talking. Oh, Shelly. Yeah, so I think they must have told everyone, because Shelly, Meg. I'm just trying to think. I'm remembering what people have commented.
So are they buying it, or they're just sort of...
No, as soon as they're told, they're like, okay, yeah, like, they all instantly are like, oh, so now this makes sense. Like, apparently the girls have been, like, painting and repainting their nails a lot because they're bored, and apparently Liz always picks the same color. That was Shelly's thing. She's like, oh, that's why she always picks the same color. So they all have, like, little things like that, you know? But the sad thing is, apparently one of the twins is a little, like, heavier than the other. I mean, neither of them, obviously, is even close to heavy. But apparently...
Yeah, I haven't noticed.
Well, Jason, especially, is, like, referring to them as, like, the fat one and the skinny one.
Nice.
And they're all doing that, like, the hefty one and the skinny one, and, yeah,
that's
well, it's a little disturbing, because, like, they're both, like, size 2s.
Yeah, they're both skinny.
Yeah.
We will tolerate no bigotry this year.
Yeah, so, oh well.
Except for fat people.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to see what happens when, how the show handles the fact that it's been discovered.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. again, it might just be Grodner wants to see. It's never happened before. Let's watch it play out.
And it might keep Audrey in the house longer because, like, I know for right now, like, everybody's like, okay, so now one of the twins has to go next week, and then Audrey. You know what I mean?
Right.
So now I'm like, how much longer is that going to go? Because as long as they all see Audrey as public enemy number one, everybody's going to be like, well, I don't want to waste my HOH on Audrey, you know? I want to get the person who's coming after me. So we need somebody who's coming after Audrey to get HOH. If we're not.
Oh, I totally agree. Audrey she's playing the annoying game, and I don't like the annoying game where you run around and tell every lie you can think of because you think, oh, it's Big Brother, I have to lie to everybody. That's not how it works. You really have to be strategic in your lying, otherwise it just blows up in your face.
Yeah, they showed the one.
It kind of reminds me of that guy. Okay, it was the year that they had the big blow up with Shima. And
Russell?
Jordan won that year.
Are you talking about Russell?
What? No. Yeah, he was in that season. You remember the guy that he had an issue with, and he like scared him and yelled at him, and he had to go hide up in his HOH room. The guy that wore glasses.
Ronnie.
That's right. That was kind of the game Ronnie was playing. Where I'm just gonna join every alliance and
there's a rat.
Literally take seconds from having a secret conversation from this person and scurrying up the other room and repeat it to the other, where they like watch him do it.
Yeah, it was like Ronnie.
Audrey is doing like that terrible of a game. So yeah, I'm ready for Audrey to be gone. I thought I was ready for Davon to be gone, but what if Meg did go home? That would probably make things a little bit more interesting in the house. And
something we haven't talked about, Davon got the 7th phone call.
I wondered.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So Davon has the power to cancel out 3 votes. Now, the way that the game is... I'm sorry, not to interrupt you. Do the house guests all know? Because somebody on I think it was on After Dark last night, said in a group, how great would that be to be able to get rid of somebody's vote? Ooh. No.
So that made me wonder, have they told them what's going to happen with the phone calls? I didn't know Davon got the 7th phone call, but I have to wonder if she was dumb enough to tell people what
I don't think she's told anybody. I don't know.
Anyway, I kind of interrupted you. Do you remember where you're going with that?
I don't know if she's told Jason. I mean, Jason is her only ally, really, like good, strong friend. So I haven't seen that she's told anyone.
Well, we're on the subject of Jason. He seems to have gotten a little less annoying. I'm not nearly as annoyed by him as I was when he got in fact, he a lot of the time talks in a normal voice now. If you watch After Dark.
Oh, really?
I was completely taken aback. I was like, who's that talking? It's not that nasally Brooklyn thing that he's got going on in the diary room. So that makes him a lot more palatable.
Yeah. It seems like he's probably a good player too. He's probably gonna go far.
I think he's one that could actually use his brain and go far in the game.
Yep. Agreed.
And if that's the case, maybe as long as he tones down the annoying, I'm okay with that. So, I
was saying, if the house is gonna go the way it seems like it's gonna go, the way it's been going the past several seasons, where the whole house votes together every single week for at least the first half of the game, it really doesn't matter if Davon cancels out 3 votes because she has like 12 votes to evict.
Well, think about that though. Okay, that would be the only circumstance, if it's allowed, where she might benefit from telling the rest of the house about her power. Okay. Or if she could tell a select few people and be like, okay, look, I can cancel out, I won this power. I can cancel out that person, that person, that person. So all I need is for you 4 people to vote to keep me in, and just like that, we've got rid of Meg, we flipped the house, we have the power, we have the control. That could be a huge game move if she was to spill the beans. Assuming she's allowed to. A lot of the time they tell you if you win those powers, you're not allowed to tell.
That's a good point. I'm not sure if they've told her that or not. Yeah, and going with that theme, it would have been even more smart for her to keep it a secret about the twins Because then that's one more guaranteed vote. So that could be like the one person.
Are you talking about if she was to blackmail Liz?
Yeah, that could be the one person.
And like say, okay, I figured you out. We're not going to even.
Yep. So
we're not going to play the game like you're going to deny it, whatever. Mm-hmm. So, you vote to keep me, and I'll keep it a secret, and then pull in 2 or 3. Okay, I see where you're going with that.
Yeah, like you keep my secret, I'll keep yours. Like just tell Liz about the power, and then
Just like every year, a big mouth will kill your game, keep stuff under your hat.
And it should not be hard to stir up the house at all. It should not be hard at all to stir up the house against Shelley, because Devon could totally be like, look, we were all united in getting Audrey out. And now Shelley is just doing her own thing with Clay, part of this team. Like, let's all get together and let's break up this team alliance. And they're not going to run the house, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all they would have left would be those 3. Audrey, Shelley, and Clay would be the only 3 that would actually stick together. And everybody else would jump ship.
Yep.
I don't want nothing to do with this.
Too bad. I don't think she's doing that. She already spilled the beans about Liz.
Right. Yeah, you live, you learn.
Yep.
You get evicted.
Yep.
So, care to place any bets for what's going to happen? Going home?
Devon's going home.
You really think?
Yeah.
If she can cancel out the 3 votes, I just don't know. That could be, if she's smart enough with it, I could easily see Meg walking out the door.
It would be good TV.
The other thing, kind of going back to something we'd already touched on. Okay, let's say Liz's twin twist gets blown up. They've got the BB takeover. I mean, even if Liz could get booted out, and they could be like, "Oh, new twist. We're bringing the other twin in anyway." You know.
Yeah.
and then she would still get to come in. Like it would kind of surprise me if they vote her out and the whole twin twist is just done over with right then and there.
What?
Or it could be a thing where that part of the game gets blown up and Liz gets voted out. Well, then in week 6 or whenever it was that they were going to bring the twin in, whoever gets voted out, then they hold a vote. One person comes back in, the evictee or Liz's twin, kind of like what they did with James the year that Adam won. The other big bulky dude that has one big brother. We were trying to think last week. Okay, it was the year of the screenwriters strike. Mm-hmm. They had 2 seasons of Big Brother, and one of them was a couples year. Natalie was on it, Adam was on it, Ryan was on it, James and Chelsea.
Okay, I think I didn't watch that season.
You don't remember Adam? Boom, done, D-U-N. What do you want to do, Sheila?
I think I didn't watch that season.
What kind of fan are you?
Bad.
Anyway, that was the other big dude that won the show that I couldn't think of last week.
It was like a jock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't even know. I don't even remember how I landed there. But no, that was a season where they had a week where you could either James got evicted, and they said, okay, well, you got to the door and the door was locked, and they said, whoa, okay, you guys all have to go vote again because you're going to vote for either him to stay in the house or we're going to bring back this other person.
Really?
And everybody had to get right back up, go back into the diary room, vote all over again for whether or not. And James ended up just staying. They voted him out, and then they voted him right back in all that same week. It was kind of a waste. I was wanting somebody evicted to come back.
What season number was that?
I want to say.
Was it 8? Because I think
10. It wasn't 8. It was 9 or 10.
I did miss a season somewhere.
If you just look up when the TV writers went on strike, they ran a season in like February, and it was that one.
Oh, really? They did? Okay.
Yeah, they did a Big Brother. It was a really entertaining year.
Huh.
It was a good season.
10 was Dan's season. 11 was Jeff and Jordan's season. 12, I think it must have been. Let's see. What was the Donatos? Was that 8 or 9?
Donatos were 8.
Okay, so
I think 9 was the one I'm referring to.
Yeah, it must have been.
So.
I'll have to look it up.
Running short on time here. Any thoughts for next week?
So it'll be interesting to see who wins the head of household. I think at this point it's safe to say Davon's going to go home. And I'll be interested to see how production handles the unveiling of the twin twist. I don't really
that
see
will
any
be fascinating.
I don't see any point in them trying to like keep it in there, because the whole point of the twist is the fact that it's a secret and then like the moment of revealing. So that's
well, but I mean they do get to the point where anything different is good for a shakeup. By the way, before I forget, I think James's comment about not caring about getting blood on his hands, he'll just rub it all over his face like war paint. He might be my favorite player so far this year.
Who said that?
James? Is that his name? Asian dude.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting the name right?
I don't remember him saying that. What episode did he say that on?
I don't remember which one it was, but they replayed it. Like, they replayed that clip in like the next episode. I think he said that on Wednesday.
That's a good quote. How about, here's another quote from Jackie. Any girl who can take a train to the face is someone who I want to align with.
But the best quote, and you had mentioned it a couple days ago when you were actually here, was from Jace. You want to relive that for everybody?
You mean
about Y2K?
I don't remember exactly how it went.
Oh, something Y2K. Y2K was like the scariest thing ever. This is scarier
than Y2K.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to use that in day-to-day life.
I know.
Every time I see a spider.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, why do I not reference Y2K? That's awesome.
Yeah. We don't bring that up enough.
I'm glad Jace was able to bring that into our lives.
Yes.
And I don't need to see him ever again.
All right. I think we got to wrap this up now.
Okay.
Thank you everybody for joining us. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube. Our channel is called Big Brother After Snark. And if you'd like to tweet about the show or make comments via Twitter, just use the hashtag BBAfterSnark.
Or on Facebook. We also have a Facebook page, Big Brother After Snark.
That is correct.
Look us up and
go like it.
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe.
Do it. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye.